Welcome back to the Dutch and Denver podcast. I am Dutch, and I am broadcasting live from the Arctic Circle, the the actual Arctic Circle, because right now I'm pretty sure it's like 30 degrees outside, and uh, last week it snowed 2 feet, which would have been May 21st. Snowed 2 feet, and it snowed today on June 1st. So yeah, if you're from California or Texas, don't fucking move here. It snows in June, and we don't want you. But hey, welcome back. This is, like I said, the Dutch Endeavor podcast. Tonight might get weird. Got a lot of emotions going on and nowhere to put them. So they're about ready to spill out on the internet. I don't know if that's going to be a good or a bad thing. But I guess we'll give it a shot. Who knows? What do you guys want to talk about first? We got sports and then fucking politics, and then I'm gonna cry a little bit. So we start with sports. Avs ended up beating the Blues by a fucking miracle, but thank Christ. And now they're on to the Oilers, which they did play last night, and they did beat. Again, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse at this point, but I hate Darcy Kemper, and I think Francouz did better. Well, that she gave out the same amount of goals and maybe more. Different scenario, nerds. So, like, Darcy Kemper started a fresh game and fucked up. Francouz came into a game that the Avs were ahead by 1,000,000, and Ottawa was just gonna blast away at him. I mean, Kemper gave up like 3 goals on 6 shots. Horrible. Francouz gave up like 3 goals on 100 shots. Different. I have confidence, so I think this is going to be a sweep, and we're going to have to play we're going to go play an Eastern Conference team, obviously, and we'll stomp them too. Because the Eastern Conference sucks, and I don't care what you say. I don't know what else to say about sports. They've been awesome, you know. A lot of fun to watch. It's what's gonna kill me though, honestly. I I used to think that the Broncos were gonna give me a stroke, but I don't watch them anymore because they're a bunch of left wing pussies. So the Avs they're gonna give me a stroke. They're what is going to kill me. My sports teams. It's just gonna be too much for my brain or heart to handle, and I'm just either gonna have an aneurysm, stroke out, and die, or a heart attack. So yeah, look forward to that. We can't live stream games because of like I don't know what you'd call it. They won't let us live stream games. Now, I can watch the game and react as the game goes on, and you guys can watch that, but I don't think that would be fun for you because when goals aren't being scored and plays aren't like drastic plays aren't happening, I'm pretty quiet. Like I sit there and I watch. And I'm not also sure that you guys aren't watching because if you're not, then fuck you. Seriously, the NHL playoffs are the best of the playoffs. Okay. Like, I know in the playoffs, everyone turns it up a little bit. Okay. Like, NBA playoffs, they actually start to play a little bit of defense and it gets good. And the refs swallow their whistles a little bit, still depending on the player. The MLB playoffs, the pitching's better. They're better. Okay. The hitting's more calculated. They're better. The NFL playoffs, it seems like they're putting forth maybe a little more effort and doing a little. But the NHL playoffs are like balls to the wall, all out, nuts. You got to win 16 games before losing 4. It's the hardest to win. I'm sorry. It really is, man. Like every series is a 7-game series. And I mean, It's better. So if you're not watching the NHL playoffs, you should do that immediately because it's great. And you'll watch the Avs win the Stanley Cup. Let's see. Oh, that golf thing was on today or tonight, whatever. The match. It was better when it was like a quarterback and a pro. If you guys know what I'm talking about, it's football players playing golf. And it used to be like El Tigre and Tom were on a team, and then somebody else is on a team. Now it's like two old quarterbacks versus two young quarterbacks, and I gotta say, Tom Brady is bad at golf. Like he's good at football. He sucks ass at golf. Aaron Rodgers isn't much better, and Mahomes, I fucking hate that nerd, but he's decent at golf. Well, he's better at golf than the other guys, Josh Allen and them. Because I didn't watch all of it because the Ranger game was on, and something was probably on Cooking Channel. I don't give a shit. But yeah, I mean, it was fun for a little bit. Just Tom Brady's really bad at golf. Like the 4 shots I watched were 4 fucking shanks. And I don't mean just like a little out. I'm talking like shank. Which, you're Tom fucking Brady. It's okay if you're not good at golf. I mean, you're fucking terrible at it, but let's see what else. It's Pride Month and I don't fucking care. And I know for the whole month they're gonna jam this crap down our throats. But I honestly I don't give a shit. Like one way or another, I don't fucking care. Such a small percentage of the country or the world is the ABC cult that I don't fucking care. If you want to be gay, fucking fine. But keep it to yourself like the rest of us. It's just, and it's gonna be so annoying because everybody's just gonna jump on it and be like, oh, it's Pride Month. We gotta support the gays. No, you don't. You don't have to support anybody. You can not hate people. Like, I don't hate gay people. Okay. Like I said, I don't give a shit. And you don't get a month for it. Just like black people. I don't hate black people and I just don't care. You don't get a month. Who gives a shit? Just fall in line and act accordingly with the rest of us. You don't need a pride parade. You don't need any of this stuff. I mean, where my problem lies is with, the grooming of the kids. Like, my 5-year-old came out as trans. No, he didn't. Okay. When I was 5, I ate dog food. My parents were like, oh, he's a dog. Let's raise him as a puppy. No. I was fucking 5. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't figure out what's going on until I was... Oh, shit. I still haven't figured it the fuck out. So, yeah, I mean, late 30s, still no clue what's going on. Early teens and... What do you call, like, single-digit kids? Like 8. What would you call that? Like late single digiter? Whatever. Those kids don't know what the fuck's going on either. So trying to say that, oh, my 5-year-old's trans. No, he's not, man. Or she or whoever fuck. Just let him be, man. Or woman. Because that's the only 2 things that exist. But yeah, like Pride Month, I'm so indifferent. I just don't give a shit. Like there is one conversation where your sexuality matters to me. We're on a date. Yep, that's it. And concerning I'm probably not going to go on a date with a dude, I don't care if you're gay. Okay? Now, if somehow Tinder or one of the other dating websites fucks me and sends me on the date with a lesbian, I don't care about your sexuality. But if I'm sitting across from a table from a female and she's like, I'm a lesbian, it's like, well, this isn't gonna work. So that's the only time I care about your sexuality, and I think that's the only time that anyone else should care about it if you're dating them. Your students don't need to hear about it. They're there to learn math, science, English, geography, civics, all that shit. In no scenario, and I took a lot of, well, I went to school like normal people, so I can't say I took a lot of math compared to you. But yeah, I went to college and all that like normal people. So in elementary school, my teacher wasn't up there like, well, 2 plus 2 is 4 and I'm gay. That there was no need for that. And I've talked about this before, but there's literally only one scenario where your sexual preference comes up, and that's when you're on a date with someone across the table. And even then, if you've got that far and you can't figure out the fuck, but if you go hit on, all right, let's just say I Dutch, go hit on a girl at a bar, and she's like, I'm not into guys. I'm like, oh, that's totally fine. We should go on a date. And she's like, okay. And then we're sitting on that date, and it's like, I really want to see your boobs. And she's like, I'm a lesbian. We even fucked up this train a long time ago. Like when she says I'm not into guys, I should have been like, it's all right. You have a good night, ma'am. Bye. Okay? There's no scenario when your sexuality matters unless you're on a fucking date or you're being hit on in a romantic sexual way. Okay? So sharing it with anyone is completely fucking pointless. It shouldn't matter for jobs. It shouldn't matter for anything other than romantic engagements. Okay? Like, Biden hired the lesbian black chick to be the new press secretary because the other one sold out for MSNBC to just lie to more people. Like, that shouldn't have mattered. That shouldn't have even been in the conversation. Like, press secretary, can you lie for me to the press? Yes. Okay, you're hired. That's how that conversation should have gone. I don't care if you're black, white, purple, green, stupid, yellow, or blue. And sexual preference. That's not a conversation that you have ever unless you're romantically engaging someone. So I don't understand why you need Pride Month. You don't. It's dumb. And all these people like, again, I play video games. Haven't in a while because they all suck right now. But one of the guys like Treyarch. They make Call of Duty games. Like, we support the ABC people. No, you don't. I've been in Call of Duty lobbies, man. You have never heard more vulgar talk than in a Call of Duty lobby. I played sports for a long time, okay? And I trash talked. I was literally the king of trash talking. I still am. I've said worse things in Call of Duty lobbies than I've ever said on a playing field. I've heard worse things. The worst things I've ever heard in my life have come from a Call of Duty lobby. Okay? They say things are like, whoa. Holy, we are in a different world right now, man. Like, shit just got beyond fucking real. And a lot of it has to do with the ABC people. So no, Track, you don't support them. You're just trying to, virtue signal like assholes. But like everyone does, it's the joke, let's support the current thing. We support Ukraine, who's just a smaller dictator than Russia, blah, blah, blah. Pride Month, I don't fucking care about. I will, I'm gonna fight it tooth and nail, though. All you virtue signaling assholes can fuck yourselves. And if you're like, oh, I'm gay, it's like, nobody fucking cares. That's the little thing about this. Like, most people don't give a shit. Like, your sexual preference is, unless I am actively pursuing you romantically, I don't fucking care about your sexual preference. If my bed, I'm confident that I could go my entire life with a gay best friend and never know he's gay. Because that's just not something, I mean, obviously we'd come up and be like, I banged a hot chick or I didn't or blah, blah, blah. But that's not like a conversation that, we have. And if it was had, and, let's say my best friend is Bill And Bill's like, dude, I'm gay. It's like, okay, I don't fucking care. That's your problem. Okay. Not that being gay is a problem, but yeah, I mean, that's your problem. Did you deal with that? I don't give a shit. Just like, if, and this is where you lose me, is because in no conversation I've ever had, I won't say ever, but most of them, I've never been like, yeah, I'm a straight white guy. Nope. Because there was no need for that. Just like saying I'm a gay black guy. You don't need to tell people that. Like when you're on the gay website looking for a date, we get it. You're fucking gay. When you're on the heterosexual website looking for a date, you're hetero. So we get it. You don't have to tell us, man. We know. It's okay. And you just keep that shit to yourself and it's okay. Kind of like political parties. I think you should keep that shit to yourself. It's none of your goddamn business who I vote for. Now, political parties have influenced so much that we have to tell each other, and the ABC people have, so we have. But again, if we all just didn't give a shit and somebody's like, I'm gay, it's like, yeah, I don't fucking care. Move on. Things would be a lot different. There's a new craze about a bunch of drag queens going to schools. I'm not even going to talk about that. I mean, I care, but I don't have kids, so I'm not. And my brother does, but I think he's smart enough to not engage in that. And well, actually, I'll stop for a second. So, you guys have heard me talk about Libs of TikTok, the Twitter account, Instagram, whatever they are now. So it used to be that it was just a Twitter account, maybe Instagram, that like just posted crazy liberals on TikTok. That was it. Now it's evolved into like so much more that I mean, remember the lady who runs it was doxxed. Now we know she's like a realtor in New York. Okay, but it used to be just like posting crazy liberals TikTok shit, and now it's turned into like an activist account. Let's say that's even better. Like an active activist, because I mean, clearly he was a subtle activist. Like if you post these liberals on Twitter acting crazily, people will take care of themselves. But now it seems like the person who runs it is like actively seeking out other things other than liberals on TikTok. It's like liberal schools doing drag stuff, which I guess that it's a problem, obviously, but that's the parents' job. Well, the parents don't know Dutch. Yes, they do. Like if this lives a TikTok could find it, the parents could have. They just don't care enough. So it's kind of like lost its appeal to me. Like I know you're an activist now, which is awesome. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, the left's fucking crazy. Okay? And it used to be like I just laughed at him and like, you dumb crazy son of a bitch. Nobody's gonna believe your cake self or tooth self. But now it's like, oh, check out this school and blah 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 blah. Let's all attack them. No. If some school in Virginia wants to have a drag assembly, I don't give a shit. I don't live in Virginia. I don't have kids going to Virginia. You don't live in Virginia. You don't have kids going to Virginia. Okay, the parents of that school district should know that. And I mean, but yeah, if you want to just like post it and be like, hey, look at these crazy fuckers, that's funny to me. But the active, like, I don't know, man. It's lost its fun. It's not fun anymore. It's just like, yeah, liberals are nuts. I don't care. It's not going to change because you don't do anything about it. Yeah, awesome. You post a whole bunch on Twitter. Um, and I may be wrong about this. I absolutely may be wrong, but I don't think I am. You're a huge Twitter and Instagram account now. Okay? How much of that revenue because you know they're making money, or you wouldn't do it. How much of that revenue is being donated to the GOP? Zero? Okay, that's what I thought. So you're not, I mean, you're not changing anyone's mind. You're not going to change anyone's mind on Twitter. Ever. Okay? I mean, the crazies are going to do crazy things, and the logical people are going to do logical things. You're not going to change a mind on Twitter, especially by posting a picture and having a bunch of posting, a thread of like left wing crazy and having a bunch of right wing people go after them. That isn't going to change anyone's mind. Okay. So now, like, you've kind of lost me because originally you were just funny. To sit back and like, crazy dumb son of a bitch. But now, I don't know. It's just, you lost your roots, live with TikTok. And I know you're not going to watch this and you don't give a shit, but that's my opinion. Hmm. Uh, let's talk for a minute, seriously about the Sussman trial. So, and this is especially for Kyle, or Blippo, as you guys better know him. When he and I have had many discussions, and I'm not sure that it was on this podcast live, but even gaming, that he actually believed that Trump was involved with Russia. And I think a lot of people still do. Well, there was a little known trial against the guy who, I'm not sure started all this, but was a pretty big part of it. And he was small enough that they could go after him. Like, you can't go after Hillary because she'll just kill you. But it turns out that this was all made up. Like, Hillary Clinton's campaign literally just fabricated all of this. Like, they lied. And when I say they, I don't necessarily mean her, like, went to the FBI. But Sussman, all of his friends, all these guys, we'll say as a group, like, lied to the FBI. Okay. And the FBI went forward and blah, knowing that they were being lied to. Okay. So this was an actual thing that happened, and they brought him to trial, and he was found not guilty. Okay, so that doesn't mean that he wasn't guilty, because this is where the kicker is. So we're not going to get into why the Russian collusion was not real, because I think I've discussed that, and you can readily find all that information. Yeah, it's not. And if you still believe that, like, Trump colluded with Russia, you're a fucking idiot and I can't help you. Like, there's no hope for you at all. But this Sussman trial, the reason he was found not guilty is because the jury was made up of a bunch of Hillary supporters. Like, openly, like, some of them worked for her. One of them plays soccer with somebody's family. I mean, it was just like a total host job. There was no way he was going to be found guilty. And that's the prosecuting attorney's fault too, because if you go through jury selection, but it was a laughing joke. But a lot of evidence came out that, Trump had nothing to do with Russia. So, I mean, sucks for you idiots who still think that, but just okay. I guess let's move on to some of the unfortunate stuff. We had to talk about it. You knew it was coming, and we're not gonna, I don't know, we might spend a lot of time on this. I don't know. But what happened in Uvalde, Texas? Let's be clear about a couple things. A crazy person murdered a bunch of people. It was not a school shooting, it was a mass murder. Quit calling it a shooting. Okay, and I might skip, but I've tried to not do this. It was a murder. It was not a shooting. I go shoot. I go down to the gun range and I shoot. Walking into a school of defenseless children and murdering them is fucking murder. Okay? So this was a mass murder, not a school shooting. This was a school murdering. Um where do we go? It was a terrible tragedy. Okay? I mean, unimaginable. There aren't words to describe how fucking horrible that was. That being said, we're going to start with a couple angles that have developed. It appears that it took the cops a long time to get inside that school. Some people are saying the cops didn't go in because they were afraid of being shot, and others were saying that it's because they couldn't get a key to open the door. I don't care what the problem was, but if it honestly took you guys more than 1 minute to run your ass in there and save defenseless children, you're pieces of shit. And now, if I'm wrong about this, I will say sorry and retract it. But I think I've given this enough time that I'm maybe not. Okay? Those teachers and kids didn't have any guns, and that madman did. You have a gun. Get your fucking ass in there and do something about it. And if you get shot, I'm sorry, man. I really am. But that's what you signed the fuck up for when you decide to be a cop. Protect and serve. At least that's what it says here in Colorado. And part of protecting is getting your ass in there and getting that crazy motherfucker and killing him, okay? Not sitting outside looking for a fucking key. The other thing, guys, an hour and a half looking for a key, walk up there with a gun and blow that lock off. Get your ass in there. Now, if I'm wrong, again, I will retract this. But this is gross negligence on the part of the police department or whoever the fuck was in charge. And what happened to those kids and those teachers is unbelievably tragic and appalling on so many levels. It's not even funny. There aren't words in modern language to describe. Well, actually, yeah, there was. That's fucking evil. That's what evil looks like. Now, on to maybe some of the meat and potatoes of this. I know we've talked about this many, many times, but I guess we have to do it again. Gun control. Okay. I don't care how you define it or what you want to do, but that is not the answer. Okay? I'm sorry, guys, but it's not. There are like 300 million guns in this country. And if guns were the problem, we'd have a fuckload more dead people. It is not the tool. It is the user of the tool. Okay? I mean, if you're an evil person and you want to kill someone else, you will find a fucking way. Now I know the argument. let's just make it harder for you to find a way by taking all the guns away. And this is going to be super controversial, but I believe this to the core of my soul. When it comes to freedom, some bad shit's going to happen. Okay? And we enjoy the Second Amendment. There's a reason it's second. We've been over this 1,000 times. You're going to have some evil fucking people take advantage of that Second Amendment. But the solution is not to take guns away, because again, the Second Amendment is not there for hunting or self-defense against other citizens or mass murder. Okay? The Second Amendment is there for the fucking government. Okay? Like, I know it's tough when things like this happen. It's real tough. And the knee-jerk reaction is like, just outlaw guns. Gotta get rid of them. Okay? So let's play out a scenario. We outlaw guns. Okay? No more. So now you have two bad things. Now the only people with guns are bad people, because they obviously don't give a shit about laws, and we're not arguing this point because it's inevitable and visual every fucking day. Okay? Criminals don't follow laws inherently. That's literally the definition of criminal. Someone who doesn't follow the law. So if you outlaw guns, at that point, only the criminals have the guns. Like the old saying, if you outlaw bees, only outlaws have bees. Or if you outlaw guns, only outlaws have guns. Right? So now there's no good guy to stop a bad guy. Then what? You're fucked. Yep, you're fucked. Now, let's say guns are still outlawed, and our government, in its infinite wisdom, decides to start doing crazier shit than it's already been doing. Like, I think we should have put out the guns, got rid of them a long time ago. But that's my opinion, and we won't go further into that. How do you think that, because again, love or hate, this is the best country in the world. And I know you people bitch about it and all that, but really go somewhere else and see how that works out for you. And it won't. But imagine fighting a revolution against a tyrannical government when they have guns and you don't. That ain't gonna be much of a fight. Or imagine fighting any war with no guns for somebody that does have guns. Because that's essentially what a revolution is a war against your government, because they've pissed you off enough and you're fucking done with it, and enough people are fucking done with it that they stand up. Okay? How are you going to fight a war against guns with no guns? You're not. So nothing will ever change. And that, my friends, is an undebatable fact that no dictator or Russian president, or whatever you want to call them, has ever risen to power in a country where the citizens were armed. The first thing, maybe not the first, but on the list of taking over citizens is get rid of guns. Okay? And I firmly believe that the Democrats want to take over your life. And some of you are fine with that, which that's your prerogative, but I'm not. And what they're doing is they're using tragedies such as school shootings and stuff like that to say, look, see, you don't need any guns. And dumb people are like, oh yeah, you're right, we don't. But what they really mean is we want all your guns so we can control you in every aspect of everything because we are power hungry fucks. And like I said at the beginning, I mean, freedom comes with some costs. Like, bad shit is going to happen. And it's unfortunate, it's tragic, it's unspeakable, and it's horrible. And I'm not downplaying this, but it can be worse. I mean, this is probably a bad analogy, but I'm going to make it. And I don't think enough people listen to this for me to get like hunted down or anything. But would you rather live here with school shootings or in Russia? Because I don't think Russia has a ton of school shootings, but I think it's worse. you know, I mean, would you rather live here with school shootings or in China with none? Do you see what I'm getting at? And if you don't see what I'm getting at, that's okay. You're stupid. And I can't fault you for that. Because that's just, I guess the way you were born. But as unfortunate as it is, it's a necessary evil to live in the greatest country in the world. Now, that's not to say that we just have to live with school shootings, because that is not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is the solution is not taking guns away. Okay. My solution, honestly, is give everybody guns, because I believe there are far more good people than bad, and the bad people might think twice, be like, hey, should I really go into this school and try and kill people, knowing that every adult in this building is armed to the teeth? They might think twice. And now I know, let's say anybody else, should I go rob this convenience store knowing that that clerk behind that desk has a gun and is going to kill my ass? It might cut down. Now, I know there will be crazies that are like, I'm going to do it anyway. Okay? But hopefully, the second that crazy steps in that door, he's taken down with a gun. Now, we can put other measures in that I've talked to some people that are like, hey, just lock the school. Like, let everybody in and then lock the doors. Send them all through metal detectors. Then lock the doors. I think we can use a combination of that kind of stuff. And just, like at an elementary school, we can dress up metal detectors. Okay, we can cover that with some nice stuff, and they won't even know they're fucking 5. Okay, and get them in. And once all the students are in, lock the doors. And if you need to come in, ring the little doorbell and say, "Hi, I need to pick up little Johnny. I'm Johnny's mom." And you will be greeted by a guard. And he doesn't have to have an AR-15 or something like that, but yeah, he might be armed. And you're greeted by a guard who opens the door and says, "Hi, Mrs. Johnny's mom. I just need you to walk through this metal detector." And Johnny's mom walks through. She's clean. She gets Johnny. They leave. I mean, fuck, the airports do it. It's odd to me. Well, no, it's not odd. I'm being a sarcastic dick. But, like, not too many people are robbing banks with guns and killing a whole bunch of people, because there's a guard who's going to shoot your ass. There aren't a lot of mass shootings at airports because there's a fuckload of people with guns there who are going to shoot your ass. Because, I mean, not giving any advice, but, a bunch of people standing in the security line with no guns is a pretty easy target. But you got to get there through a lot of other people with guns. And I know you've all seen this meme or whatever the fuck it's called that, you know, we protect everything with guns but our schools. I mean, there's a little truth to that. Like, everything is protected with guns except our most precious asset, which is fucking kids. We have a goddamn sign on the side of that building that says, hey man, there's no guns here. You're gonna be the only psycho with fucking guns. You're the only one. So, you know, have at it. And I know that sounds callous and that sounds all that, you know, horrible, but I mean, that's the situation that we're in. And the Democrats are using these tragedies to take our guns away so they can have more power. They don't give a fuck about kids. I promise you that. Okay? They really don't. Or the teachers unions wouldn't have been on strike for 2 years because of fucking COVID because they think little Billy's going to give it to them when there's a snowball chance in hell little Billy's even going to get it. Okay? These people are not on your side. And I'm not saying the Republicans are any more on your side when it comes to this. They're just a little bit more because they want you to keep your guns, kind of. But if they start doing dumb shit, I promise you, they'll be like, no, 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 nobody needs any guns. Move on. And that's why we have guns in this country, is because our forefathers were like, hey man, when your government gets out of control, you need to kick their ass and make a new one. And the only way to do that is with guns. So we have to make this like an actual fucking right that you have a right to have a gun. Okay? They were really smart and they thought about this ahead of time. Um and they I mean they literally said shall not be infringed. So part of me even wants to go to the extreme, like I said, is that anyone can have a gun. Criminal, non-criminal, anyone. But we're gonna go back to the Wild West a little bit and be like, hey man, if you're a bad guy with a gun and you walk into a store and try and rob it with your gun, everyone has a gun in that store and you're going to die. Because there's one bad guy and there's going to be 50 good people. You're not going to make it out. Unless you go to a school, because you're going to be the only bad guy with a gun and there will be 0 good people with a gun and you can just have at it. So I know the teachers union isn't going to let teachers have guns and the teachers certainly aren't going to carry them, but it's little things like Tay Tay in Denver, who voted out all of the SROs, which are school resource officers, which are cops in the school. They have guns. And they're tactically trained, I assume. So they could probably help with a school shooter, but you voted to get them all out of there. So now there's no good guys with guns in Denver schools. So a crazy goes into Denver school, it's a fucking free for all. We bitch all the time about veterans that don't have jobs or blah blah blah. Why not put them in a school with a gun? Like I'm not sure that we're still here, but I'm pretty sure we are. Like I think every flight has an air marshal on it, which is a good guy with a gun. Like every airplane. And we have a fuckload of airplanes every day. I mean, could we maybe put like a good guy with a gun in every classroom? No, why not? Yeah, because if you're on the left, you don't actually fucking care about the kids. You just want the guns out of people's hands so you can take more power. Like these, and I know that these aren't like simple solutions, but they are kind of simple. You know, like we didn't want terrorists hijacking planes and flying planes into buildings. So like TSA was upped, and we put a good guy with a gun on every plane, and we locked uh the the pilot's cabin so you can't get in there. And security got super strict, and we haven't had any planes flown into buildings in 21 years. Knock on wood. Um, but we we fortified our air travel, and I mean it's done all right. But we have a school murder every couple weeks or every week, or I don't know what the statistics on that are, and we literally do nothing to fortify schools. It's fucking baffling to me. You know, like a bunch of banks got robbed in the 1800s by cowboys and outlaws and shit. So then we fortified our banks with vaults and guns and shit. And there's probably less bank robberies now than there was in the 1800s. But and no one gave a shit. You know, the president is protected with guns, and we don't have many presidents assassinated. Everything else is protected with fucking guns, but the kids are like, no, not gonna do it. So just like, I mean, it almost seems so simply stupid, or so stupidly simple, that just fortify schools. But they won't know. I'll give you $1 million. Next plane you get on, you be like, yep, that's the air marshal. That's the guy with the gun. You don't know. Just like the kiddies won't know. But the next time some wacko comes in, though, with tap tap, he's done. No one knows anything. They heard a couple firecrackers go off. We cart his ass to the janitor's closet and deal with that on its own. So I don't understand why that's not a solution. Like, and I mean, we can work out the details, but think of it this way: like I'm going to say fortify. We fortified air travel, and there hasn't been any hijackings. Let's fortify the schools and see how that works. Like Israel does, and I don't think they have a lot of school shootings. They got a lot of guns though. Their citizens might not, but their rival citizens, the Palestinians, might. Okay. So, but the answer is not like get rid of the guns. Okay. Because also, um, again, and I don't understand why people on the left can't extrapolate to this, but like traffic accidents, they kill a lot of people. They're, you know, and like sometimes you have evil fucking madmen kill people. They're called drunk drivers. Why are we blaming the drunk drivers? Why not just outlaw fucking cars? Oh, because that's fucking crazy, Dutch. Yeah, I know it is. Okay? So let's equate drunk drivers to school murderers. It's a small section of whack jobs that are fucking it up for the rest of us. Kind of like always. It's always one moron who screws it up for the rest of us. So instead of getting rid of the car, the ball, yeah, dude, the ball, like in dodgeball, you know, you get hit in the head by one person who gets kicked out. So instead of outlawing the ball, you just get rid of that person. So instead of outlawing the gun, just get rid of that crazy person. Like, this isn't hard. And I don't understand why is this hard. I mean, I know why it is because the Republicans are fucking useless at literally everything they do. And the Democrats are cancerous at everything they do. Like, the Republicans have no defense for anything. They're just like, oh, we're stupid too. And the Democrats are like, yeah, fuck your guns. We're taking them because we want to have control over everything. But it's for the kids. Yeah, God damn it. It just, everybody's so fucking stupid now. I can't handle it. I seriously, if you disagree with me, just give me one argument why we fortify everything else but not schools. Like, why is everything else protected with guns and tough guys? Jesus Christ, even to get into a bar, there's some dipshit bouncer out there who's like, hey man, you're okay? He may not have a gun, but he's an intimidating presence. And you don't act stupid in a bar unless you're bigger than the bouncer, or you can fight him, or drunk. But we're not like, that's the alcohol's fault. No, it's that drunk son's a bitch problem that the bouncer kicked his ass. I don't get it. I mean, I do get it because the left wants to take your gun so they can fucking take over, and there's nothing you can do about it. And if you don't see that, it's because you're stupid. Because again, the easy solution is fortify a school. Boom, done. Problem solved. And yeah, you will still have some school murders, just like we still have some bank robberies. But usually people don't die in bank robberies. They're not like 50 people dead in a bank robbery. And there's a reason they attack schools. It's literally the only place that says, hey man, we have no defenses. Fuck us. Nowhere else has signs all over the place. It's like, hey, this is a gun-free zone. Nowhere else but schools. Even fucking hospital guards have guns. And the cops are at the hospital all the time. And yeah, you're gonna have some crazies do some dumb shit. Okay? And like Oklahoma City bombing, you can't get out of those guns. Nothing was gonna stop that unless finding that crazy son of a bitch before he did what he did. That's better than living in Russia or China or Mexico or Canada or anywhere else. And if you don't think it is, literally fucking leave. But you won't because you're a little bitch. If it's so bad here, get the fuck out. But you won't because you're a little bitch. And you just like to complain and you have no solutions. That's what the GOP is. They just like to complain and have no solutions. And the Democrats just have horrible solutions to give them more power. That's where we're at right now. So trust me, I'll dump my purse in a minute. But let's talk about Memorial Day real quick. And I know I do this every year. I've done this podcast for over a year now. It's almost been 2. And I've talked about it on Twitter and go back, find it forever. Let's be clear about something, man. Memorial Day is for one group of people and one group only. It is not thanking a veteran. That's Veterans Day. Okay? It is not thanking people who served. That's fucking Veterans Day. It's Memorial Day is for one thing only, and it's a sad thing, but it's also a really, really good thing. Memorial Day is for remembering the people who gave their lives for this country, who died. Okay? So if you're still alive, this ain't for you, man. If you were a veteran and died, not for you. That's Veterans Day. This is for people who died defending this country. Okay? In any way. But that's what this day is for. So for you to get up there and be like, oh, thank a veteran. Yes. Today's not that day though, man. And it sucks. Because, and if you're a Democrat, you can't celebrate any of these holidays because you've spent your entire fucking life trying to tear down these statues and fuck off. And I mean literal a little bit. But, the constructs of the society, you've spent your life tearing this down so you can fuck yourself. But if you're on the right and you're like, oh yeah, thank a veteran. No, man, that ain't this day. This is for people who made the ultimate sacrifice for this country. And that's who we remember on Memorial Day. And yeah, you had a barbecue and you had fun and you got a day off and stuff like that, which I know I'm guilty of it too. I'm not as guilty of it as I used to be because I think more about it that as fucked up as this country is, better than Russia or China, like I said. Um, but yeah, that's what Memorial Day is. And I'll educate you on a couple other days, like Veterans Day. That's when you think of veterans, okay? And shocking, Labor Day ain't for veterans. It's for the people who work, like the blue collar and the white, even the white collar guys. That's what Labor Day is. That's for the workers. So everybody who has a job and is a contributing member of society, that's their day. So don't steal it with this other dumb shit. Now, I think we should appreciate everyone who sacrifices for this country, um, regardless, on every day. But we have set aside a couple of days and be like, well, that's, yeah, I get it, man. Some people died for this country. Okay. Some people served in the military. But Labor Day is equally important because somebody's got to pay those fuckers. And I don't mean fuckers in a bad way. I mean fuckers in a good general sense. Okay? So it's important to acknowledge everyone in this country for their sacrifices and accomplishments, like dying for your country, serving your country, working for your country. All sacrifices, all accomplishments. Being fucking gay, not. Being black, not. Being straight, not. Being white, not. Those aren't accomplishments or service to a country. Those are just you being you. So, who fucking cares? Okay? Now, if you're gay, Asian, half black, Jew, lesbian, can you be that? Yeah, gay, lesbian, trans, and you served your country and got shot and killed, all that other crap doesn't matter. You made a sacrifice for your country, and we honor that. Doesn't fucking matter. You were gay, black, purple, green, whatever. You were an American, and you're no longer with us. And the reason we're still Americans today is because of you, and we appreciate that. If you served in this country and you made it out alive, it doesn't matter what color, religion, sexual orientation you were. You did your best and you made us who we are today. Thank you. I don't fucking care what's wrong with you. And if you have a job building cars and you're gay, purple, green, but I don't fucking care. You're contributing. Your sexual orientation doesn't matter. Labor Day's for you. These dumb months and holidays need to fucking go. Because that's really what divides us. Like, if your identity is I'm gay versus you're straight, that's a you problem there, brother. Why don't we divide each other against the leeches and the producers? Let's do that. I'm on board with that. And yeah, you're in the military and you, fuck yeah, you did your job and I love it and I appreciate it. I also paid your salary. So I'm not diminishing anything from you. Labor Day is just as important. Oh, you guys want to get an emotional dump? I don't know it's gonna be emotional dump because I'm kind of like fired up now. But let's start with a couple. Maybe this isn't emotional, just some random shit. We need more breasts on this podcast and on the gaming thing. Speaking of gaming, um, I haven't been gaming recently because, like I said, I don't want to play any games. I don't care. I think they all suck right now. All right, they've all been out for years, and honestly, I don't make any money playing games for you guys. I don't. Nobody watches live. Some people, Phil, you watch right here, brother. Love you. A couple other people love it, but it's not a source of like income or anything for me. So I don't. I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to. I have no desire to. Fuck it. Until something more fun comes out. Sorry. No, I might play here and there. Like tonight, I might hop on something because I have a little hanker to play little games. But it just, I mean, no one plays anymore, and the games they play, I don't want to play. Whatever, fuck it. Okay, that's why we're not playing that. But more to the point, podcasts I still like doing because I get to talk for a little bit and just, say my piece. Because I love talk radio, and this is my outlet for talk radio. Okay, because there's a lot of times that I want to like call in talk radio shows and be like, fuck no or fuck yeah or something, and this is my time to do it. Because I'm not going to call into a talk radio show because I've done that before, and you get big time by the host, and that's if you get on. But yeah, you get big time by the host if you disagree, and if you agree, they don't give a shit. Because agreeing with someone else's point, they need ego feeds. Okay, just like I need ego feeds. That's why I do this. But we need to increase viewership, and I have come to the conclusion the only way to do that is get a woman and tits. And the only reason I say that is because A, it's true, and B, I don't know why or how I got here. Okay, someone mentioned it, and it's just like, let me go check it out. But there's a chick on the Purple Snakes who her entire channel is literally her tits. And don't get me wrong, smart, 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 smart. That's what gets the viewers. Because I think when I first tuned in, she was like pretending to sleep, obviously, because come on. And there was like 9,000 people just watching her fucking sleep. The caption's like, alarm is set for, like noon central, which was like in 45 minutes. There's 9,000 people just watching this. But when she eventually does get up, it's just like big, nice tits. She's a ginger. Ugh. But yeah, so that's what I need to do to increase viewership. So if you like me, if you would like to lend me you as a pretty one or your breasts, I'll take them. And we're not using you because we'll share some of the 65 cents a month we make doing this. What else? What were we doing? Emotional dump. See, now I kind of forgot because I waited too long. Oh, all right. So I don't like I do, but I don't. How am I gonna phrase this? Like, have you ever been in like a rut? And I'm not talking like a sexual rut or a life. I'm talking just like a general rut. Like we're talking like relationship, life, everything. And I'm not talking suicidal because if you're there, I honestly mean this. Get professional help because I can't help you, and your friends probably aren't equipped either. So professionals are the best way to do that. But just like a rut where you just, God, what the fuck is going on? And it could be outside influences, inside influence, everything. But it's just like, what the fuck is going on? And you try some things, and then you try like little things, and they just backfire, and then you're just deeper. It's like, what the fuck? And I'm not saying I'm here, but I might be. But I also have a couple friends who are there. And like, so there's one guy I know that about my age and romantically has just been struggling lately. Like, we'll say the past 5 years. Okay. And my buddy, like, when he was younger, crushed. I almost envied him if I didn't crush as well. But yeah, like he was someone to look up to and be like, dude, boom. But in his whatever the opposite of defense is, like he messed up a lot of really good things for different reasons. Like he probably met like three girls that he should have fucking married and would have been happy as a clam, nice family, set, and super hot wife. But he fucked that up in his youth. Okay. And now he's gone from like rock star to like grasping at straws. Kind of just like not banging anything that comes his way, but like it used to be nines or nothing. And now it's like sixes and up, maybe a five or two. But he won't let go. Like it'll be they'll go out and like a month, 6 months later, they or he'll text and they'll go out like one more time and they're just nothing. And I saw some of the messages, so I'm reporting from firsthand knowledge. Some of these texts that it's just they're meaningless. Like there is nothing there at all, but there's potential because both sides, he and they, have opened doors and been like, "Hey, come on in," and they've been like, "Oh, put a foot in, we'll have sex," and then never talk again. But in 6 months, and it's just been like a revolving door of depressing. Like I think it's kind of funny, and we've talked about this, and it's a bummer because we have another friend who's getting married who's a little bit younger than us, and my buddy's like, dude, I don't know, man. Like it's not there, and I don't know how to get back on track. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm kind of where the one buddy is, not the one getting married, but the other one. Like I don't know how to get back on track with certain aspects of my life, and it's not like dire. I'm not like homeless living in a ditch. But I think my injury had something to do with it. But I'm kind of done blaming my injury, you know? So I was kind of wondering like has anybody else ever been there and like how'd you get out of it? Because my options right now are exercise. Yeah, I feel like that gives you a little more endorphins, but just like I mean, he keeps going back, and I'm not a go backer, but I've also talked to him like at our age, um, because we have other friends my age, obviously. Like, how do you find meaningful then? So, because without giving too much away, because I like to keep some of my private life private, but I'll be honest with you guys to an extent. Let's say I'm single, no prospects whatsoever, and I'm my age, mid 30s, mid to late 30s, not quite 40. Oh, I got a cramp. We're good. Okay. So I'll play devil's advocate here for a minute. But like and I don't want to sound like a dick, but I'm going to, because this is where shit sucks. Like, hypothetically, never been married, no kids. Me. Uh, Mid to late 30s, obviously gorgeous. I mean, look at me. You guys see my face once a week. That, yeah, I can pull some ass. Or I used to. Now I'm in a rut and it's so sad. Okay. Uh, Not a billionaire, not a pauper. Functional. Okay. Not starving, but I'm also not like wiping my ass with caviar. I don't know if people do that, but now I'm ready to get in the dating scene. Okay. It's a cesspool of awful. So, and like I said, we've talked about this. Even my friends who are married and like when long term relationship, me, blah, 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 all that. Your options are so limited. And the last podcast with Ever that was only on YouTube, I did not post it anywhere else. So you have to go watch it on YouTube. But I gave some secrets away. But like the pickings, again, and depending on where you look, and I know where to go outside of this, but hypothetically, the pickings are so slim unless you want a ton of baggage. Because again, at my age and at my friends' ages that are going through this, you've either got divorced with kids, complete fucking wreck. Like, it's very hard to find someone our age who is not fucked up. And I didn't mean fucked up like, irreparable, but you know what I mean. Like some of us don't want somebody else's kids, but that's okay. Some of us don't want a divorce. That's okay. So at this point, your only option is like date somebody who's 22. Well, she's fucking stupid, so that's not even fun for me. That's a that's a quote from my buddies. They're like, we're sitting around, and that's what I told him. I was like, hey man, you just gotta date early 20s, and he's like, I don't feel like dating stupid Dutch. I was like, well, you're stupid, so it should work out fine. It's just tough. And again, I have some closely guarded secrets on my chest, like to not have to deal with that kind of crazy or that kind of problems. And I do well there. But even then, sometimes, so I want to see, like, have you guys ever been there? And even, let's not even talk romantically, just like a rut generally. Like right now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm down. I'm bummed. It snowed 24 inches in May. It snowed today, which is like June fucking 1st. I went and got flowers this past weekend to the flower place we went to. I didn't get to go to the VIP because it was canceled the week before because of all the snow. So I had to deal with all the other fucking people. It was a mess. It was horrible. I was in a bad mood. I missed out on some stuff because there were so many people, and it's like, just get me the fuck out of here. Um, and I mean, it's little things like that in life that just keep kicking you. It's like death by a thousand cuts. You know, and I'm bummed right now. And like I was gonna go help a friend finish her yard today, or not finish, but progress. And I mean, granted, it was physically prohibitive because the whole thing's of mud and it was still raining. But part of me was a little like, no, not happy. I actually wanted to go do that. Okay. But I was a little relieved after, like, all right, I don't have to. Because I'm just not there. And again, this is not like clinically depressed where you need medication and stuff. or drastic. I'm just talking like lulls in life. And I know we all have them. So I guess what I'm asking is like, what are your guys' way to get out of them? Because I know how to get out of them. Good shit starts happening. Maybe it warms up. But I mean, somebody else have a secret? And I mean, if you want to shoot me stuff about romantic crap too, that works too. I'll pass it on to my buddies. I might even use it. Leave my 6 wives and or my 1 or 2 or 7. You guys don't know. I don't need your hunter down. But you know, I I mean, what do you do? And then that's just personal. And then you run out and you're like, oh my God, I gotta get gas. And it just I mean, is everybody a little bummed now? Or am I, like me and my circle are the only ones? Am I the one bringing them down? Like, man, I don't want to do anything. I just want to plant flowers and play with my bees. I don't know, dude. It's hard for me to express emotion. Actually, no, it's not. You guys got all of it. There it is. I'm down in the dumps a little bit for a myriad of reasons, and I'd like to hop back to happy. And since it doesn't look like the sun's going to come out anytime, shoot some ideas my way. God damn. It's just nuts. And, dude. Right. My buddy's got one girl. I almost said his name. Fuck. Who, like, off and on and then just ghosted his ass. I mean, usually they're like once or twice a week text, but it's been like 3 weeks, and this is after they slept together for like the 10th time. I don't know. But just nothing. And he's texting. And I told him stop because he's an idiot. But yeah, he's been like, hey, nothing. Fucking radio silence. I have no advice for him other than like move on. But yeah, I mean, the real thing to do is move on, but it's like low hanging fruit, you know? Like we all kind of go for the easy. Uh but how do you get out of those ruts? Even like easy things that aren't romantic. Like if you're self-employed, easy jobs. I don't know, man. You guys let me know. It'd be fun to discuss, talk about later, you know? But hey, this one's been fun. This one a little longer than normal. You're welcome. Kind of make it up for the missing some shots. I loaded a new one tonight. So you got that one, and then you have this one coming out. I'll put this one on a couple-day delay, and we'll go from there. And we'll see. Or I'll just load up 2 in a row and see how many people listen. But hey, do me a favor. Follow those socials at Dutch in Denver. No I. That's on the Twitter. Everywhere else has an I. YouTube, Facebook, Dutch in Denver with an I, or my personal Twitter at Dutch the Beast. Follow those. Help me out. Like, subscribe. Do your part to help me help you. And then after you're done doing all that stuff, pop open your little search engine and find the West of Nowhere podcast. They're my little sister podcast. I'm actually the talent and the brains behind that one. So if you like this one, listen to that one. I'm not actually the talent or the brains. It's just Batman. Or Shane, as you guys know him. He does a pretty good one. Not as good as this one, but he does a pretty good one. So after you're done checking out this one and liking, subscribing, leave reviews, do all that fun shit, go check out his. And then come back to this one next week and then check out his and just have an endless cycle and get yourself into a rut, kind of like we are right now. Hey, man, it's been fun this week. And until next time, I appreciate all the listen, all the everything. Bye.